Solving multi-step equations, putting together what we've done the last couple days, addition, subtraction, and multiplication and division. So we have to solve each of these. Now again, it's very similar to solving equations, except for the one item we need to watch out for. If we multiply or divide both sides by a negative number, we have to remember to reverse or switch the sign. So the first thing we're going to do here is add 3 to both sides to get rid of the minus 3. So we're left with 5x, and then negative 3 plus 3 is 0, is greater than 15. Divide both sides by 5. That means x is greater than 3. We're not going to today during this note outline, but we could easily graph these on a number line also. In the next example, we're going to add 3 to both sides. So we have negative x is less than 9. And we got a negative x, so we can pretend this is a negative 1x. So we're going to divide both sides by a negative 1. That means x, and then because it was a negative, we got to flip the sign around. X is greater than negative 9. So we had two examples there, one where it was normal and one where we had to switch the sign. The other thing we need to watch out for is simplifying both sides before we do anything else. So in this first example, we have to distribute the 4 to the x and the minus 1. So 4 times x is 4x, minus 4 times 1, which is 4, is greater than 8. So the first thing you do is make sure you have both sides simplified, and now we can solve. Add 4 to both sides. So 4x is greater than 8. Divide by 4. X is greater than 2. Remember, when you're solving inequalities, think inverse operations. It's 4 times x, so the inverse operation of times or multiplication is division. Now in this next one, we want to get the numbers on one side and the variables on the other. So I'm going to move the variables over to the right side. So I'm going to add x to both sides. So 1 is less than or equal to 4x now, plus 21. Minus 21 from both sides to get the number over to the left side. So we got negative 20 is less than or equal to 4x. Divide by 4. That means x is greater than or equal to negative 5. You could subtract 3x from both sides, and then you would end up subtracting 1 from both sides. In that case, you would have to switch the sign. So it doesn't matter what side you bring x to or what side you bring the numbers to. Just be careful if you multiply or divide by a negative number that you switch the sign. So the last problem for today, you start growing geraniums from seed and plan to sell these potted plants for Mother's Day. It costs you $1.75 to pot and grow each plant. If you sell each plant for $3.25, how many plants will you need to sell if you want to make a profit of at least $150? So we have set up here kind of the verbal model. We need to fill in what we're going to do to it, right? So the price per geranium and then the number sold, we want to multiply those together. So the multiplication sign, price times number sold. And then we want to do expense times number sold. So this will get our total money coming in. This will be the total cost it has. So if we take our total money coming in and subtract our expenses, that'll give us then our total profits. But we want this number over here, kind of the money we're left with, to be greater than or equal to our total profits, because we want to make at least $150. So if we make more, that would be awesome. If we make 150, we're happy. So that's why I want greater than or equal to. So let's put the numbers now by each of the boxes. The price we're going to sell them at is going to be $3.25 times the number sold, which we don't know what it is. So when we don't know what something is, we call it X. And then minus the expense per pot, which is $1.75, times the number sold, which again we don't know what it is, and it's the same number, so we're going to use the variable X again, greater than or equal to the 150. I'm going to rewrite it again, smash it all closer together. So 3.25x minus 1.75x greater than or equal to 150. So we have some combining we can do. We have 3.25x minus 1.75, which is 1.5, meaning we make $1.50 for each pot that we sell. Divide both sides by 150. That means X is greater than or equal to 150 divided by 1.5, which is 100. So in order to make at least $150, we have to make 100 or more pots to sell.